Welcome back to Dumai, Sumatra. I'm not heading out for any kind of a remarkable bike ride. It's just that the other day I was out walking around the city running some errands, and I went down this one side street. I got to an intersection and there was a flood there. And I wasn't able to go straight, turn right, or turn left because every direction from that intersection was flooded. And I turned around and I backtracked. And then rather than walk down the main streets, I ducked down a much smaller neighborhood laneway. You know, just a residential laneway. I was walking along and I just found it to be a really interesting place. You know, this residential district, there were so many interesting small houses in those laneways. And as I was walking along, I kept thinking how interesting it was and I kept thinking, I wish I had a camera with me just so that I could record just a simple walk through this neighborhood. So I decided to hop on my bike and I'm going to ride back, try to find that intersection and then backtrack from there. I'm just going to walk along, like just walk my bike through this residential district just to capture a little bit of what this town looks like. Yeah, it's a fascinating place, it really is. Walking or cycling, you never run out of interesting things to look at, all kinds of activity. I was going down this very street walking the other day, and way kind of on the other side of these traffic lights, I came across a truck sort of parked at the side of the road, and a group of men, were gathered around a rear wheel and operating a jack. And the first thought I had, of course, was, oh, flat tire. They must be fixing a flat, lifting the truck up. But they had the jack not underneath the truck. They had the jack jammed into the rim of the tire. And I was like, why in the world are they doing that? So I stopped to take a look. And again, I wish I had a camera with me because upon closer inspection, I saw that the entire wheel of the truck had broken through the cement into some sort of a drainage ditch below. So they tried to park at the side of the road, but they were no longer above ground. You know, it wasn't, you know, asphalt sitting on top of the ground. They were actually placing their wheels right over a culvert that was covered by cement, and it was so weak that the whole truck just broke right through. And I was looking at it thinking, man, you guys are stuck. And what they were trying, their first attempt, I guess, was to try to put a jack on the rim of the rear wheel and then somehow lift the entire back of the truck up out of this hole that they broke. And then I don't know how they were going to move the truck in any direction. I guess they could put something over the hole at that point, lower the truck back down, but man, the whole thing was so precarious. And yeah, I could see that the jack slipping, the whole truck crashing down. Anyway, it was bad news all around. And I didn't stick around long enough to see them get the truck free. For all I know, they're still there. We'll see. It's just up ahead here. I imagine they've got it free by now. I hope so. They don't have it out yet. I think that truck will be a permanent part of the city now. They'll never get it out. But that's something you notice as you walk around. The sidewalk is basically a series of cement slabs over top of a deep culvert. a drainage ditch. So the sidewalk itself is not sitting on top of the ground. And as you walk along, or as you try to walk along, you have to be quite careful because there are a lot of openings in those cement slabs. Like entire cement slabs are missing, just big gaping holes. And some of them, one end of the slab will slip off, and then the whole slab just falls into the hole. So it's a real obstacle course for pedestrians and for trucks. Let's see, I wonder if I can find the hole that this guy fell into. Actually, there's a whole bunch of holes. I think this is it right here. Looks like they filled it in. That could be it. So yeah, underneath us, it's hollow. Could have been that one. Could have been this one over here. Those could also be old incidents. I've actually been doing most of my trips around the city on foot recently. I haven't been on the bike for a few days. So this is an interesting experience for me to be back on the bike. Yeah, it must have been one of those holes. But it just made me think about one more danger for truck drivers. They never know whether they're sitting on solid ground or whether there's a big gaping drainage ditch underneath them, covered up by a thin layer of cement. I was actually out in this direction on my bike, or no, actually, as I said, I was on foot. The reason I came down here is I was looking for a specific pharmacy, because the reason I'm still in Dumai is I fell sick over the Christmas holiday. So I've been very unwell for a few days, and I haven't been able to leave the city as I planned. And I was looking for a pharmacy here. Trying to see if there's any kind of medication that was going to make my life better. Now I'm trying to remember what road I went down. To be honest, I don't need to go down the exact same road. This whole residential area would be quite interesting. But oh, look at this guy. Wow. I have no idea what that was all about. One guy, the guy with the basket asking for money, he was making some sort of an odd signal, scratching his chin, like there was a beard there or something. But I don't know what that was all about. I do often get weird hand gestures as I walk around or ride my bike around. A lot of people here are extremely friendly and very brave socially. They're not frightened by me in any way, being a foreigner, speaking English. A lot of people reach out to me, say hello, wave. But mixed in with that, I get a lot of hand gestures and vocalizations. People make weird sounds and things, and I don't really know what the point of all those sounds are or what the hand gestures mean. Okay, I think this is my my road. I turned down this way, expecting to walk all the way back to my hotel from the pharmacy. I made it out here, but I was in pretty rough shape, and I was just heading back to my hotel to collapse once more. Man, the rain clouds have circled in as well. I'm just curious to see if the flood is still there. And then I'll turn around and see if I can find the road that I took that I thought was so interesting. A lot of the houses that I passed, I wasn't sure if they were still lived in or abandoned or what. Okay. Nope. I can't remember how far I got along. This might have been the flooded area. Or maybe it was still up ahead. Another great thing about being on a bike, of course, you can just, if you're not quite sure about your location or direction, it's not a big deal just to go another kilometer ahead and see where you are. And then you just turn around again. It takes a lot longer if you're on foot. Huh. Could have sworn the flood was here. But if it was, it's already gone. Yeah, there were floods on... Oh, there's a hotel. I'm not sure if I passed that hotel or not. No, I think this was the flooded district, I think. The flood has receded. Yeah, time to turn around. I think I've overshot my destination. Happy Kitty Family Karaoke. That's pretty funny. And I remember one place in particular up ahead, there was quite a large store on a corner where they were chopping up coconuts, I think. And I already passed it once, going to be riding right by it again. The guys chopping the coconuts, they saw me that day when I was walking, and they seemed a bit startled to see me, wondering what in the world I was doing. And now that I'm, because I went by them twice, once on my way down this road, and then I had to turn around when I encountered the floods. Now I already cycled by them, so that'll be my third trip past them. And now I'll be going past them the fourth time. And they'll really be wondering, like, what is up with this guy? Does he want a coconut or not? Yeah, definitely this is where the flood was. You can still see some puddles, just a little bit of the remnants. Yeah, I guess the flood started right at the coconut place. Not sure. Oh yeah. Now I recognize everything. So this is exactly where the flood was. Yeah. So where I am now, behind me was flooded. To the left of me was flooded. You can still see how wet it is. And then the whole street off to my right was flooded. And if I was feeling adventurous, and I was wearing sandals, of course, I could have waded through the flood, but I decided not to, and I just turned around. There's the coconut place and the coconut guys. Now, the real trick will be Like the trick to recreating my journey of the other day is to figure out what road I turned down. Might have been that one, but I don't think so. I think it might have been just up ahead on the right, just before I got back to the main road again. We'll see. Yeah, this might have been it here, I think. Yeah, I think so. Big old truck coming out. Hello. I'm all right. Yeah, this is definitely where I was. The same guy that just called out to me, he ran out to the street and said hello last time as well. So here we are, a little bit of a residential adventure. Yeah, this is kind of nice because I was walking before, and my plan was to come back here walking, holding the camera. But yeah, it's just as easy or even easier to have the camera attached to the bike and walk along. There's an interesting house there. Someone lives there, obviously, that rides one of the tricycles to make a living. The house there on my left. I have endless questions about these houses. Who lives in them? And a lot of questions about cost. I'm always curious about that. Because here's a real house on my right, like number 46. How much does that house cost? Like, how much is the land? And what is it like inside? And then you see other places, like over here on my right, or on my left, kind of older, more like shacks than houses. But even this one is sort of I turned off a street onto a small lane, right? And then you can go down an even smaller lane and get deeper into these neighborhoods. Oh. Yeah, just interesting neighborhoods. Oh. Hello. Yeah, that was just a short detour. That's the main road up ahead. I think I'm going to turn around and go back to that other slightly larger laneway. Oh, kid was distracted looking at me, and he missed the birdie. Getting back. A little bit like playing a street hockey in Canada. Someone would always have to shout, car, you know, when a car came along, we'd all have to get out of the way, get off the road, wait for the car to go past. Oh, look at that. It's a water reclamation system. Water comes off the roof into the eaves trough and then goes down into this water bottle cut in half, and I guess the water flows into a barrel somewhere. But obviously some of these places are so rough that you do wonder, like, could anyone possibly be living inside them, or are they abandoned? But from what I can tell, looking at all of the activity around them, many of them are still occupied. Some clearly not. This one here, number 39, it looks like it's derelict. And I think I know that name. There's a building here that has a sign on it, Kosan Kiara. And I think Kos is related to some kind of a lodging house. So you can rent rooms there. Not quite a hotel, but yeah, like I said, a lodging house, maybe long-term tenants. Funny though, no matter what country you go to in the world, including my own, see a bunch of boys on their bikes. They're always trying to smash things. But whatever little boys find, they want to see if they can break it. They have to do something to it. Look at this place here. These are all abandoned, of course. The boys had something to tell me, something very important. Someplace they wanted me to see, but I don't know what they're saying. It's funny how places like this can get burned into your brain, because I walked down this alleyway, this laneway, only one time. So I've only seen it once in passing, and almost every site is like I remember it so clearly. There's this little lawn on my right filled with chunks of cement, and I remember that clearly. There's a restaurant right behind me filled with cats, and the same people were sitting there. I even recognized the people. And when I came up on this intersection, I had a choice between turning left and going back to the main road, but then I noticed a lot of scooters were using this even tinier alleyway as a shortcut, and I decided to head in that direction. So I remember this intersection really clearly. And instead of turning left or right, I went straight ahead. It's like this woman coming down the pathway now on her scooter. They said people use this as a shortcut. And I often wonder about these drainage ditches on the side here where the water really isn't flowing. You know, I can't, you wonder just how many diseases are bubbling in that water. You know, like if you were insane enough to get a glass and drink a glass of that water, just how sick would you be for how long? You know, the mind kind of boggles at the idea. I'm arriving back at the main road. My plan from here is to cross to the other side and go down some of the small streets on the other side. That kind of work their way back to my hotel. So I need to do some kind of a U-turn here. And I'll just walk my bike across. Or try to anyway. All right, here comes a break. Nice to get off that busy road. I think this is a brand new road or laneway. I haven't come down here before. I've been here long enough that I've gotten my bearings in terms of east, south, west, and north. I generally know, I have a vague feeling what direction I'm facing, and no matter where I go, I always know in a general sense where I am. It's just a question of what road I want to go down. I'll go down this one. See what there is to see. And it does seem to be a city of cats. That is definitely something I've noticed. No dogs. If there have been any dogs at all, I didn't really notice them or make a note of them. Another group of young boys. Ooh, look at this. The smaller the laneway, the better. Okay, there's a little street cat. Hey, kitty. Could use a good feeding, I'm afraid. But yeah, you see cats and kittens everywhere, but I hadn't thought of it until just now, but I don't remember seeing dogs. I can't remember a specific single dog. Hello. Left takes me back to where I was. Right heads in the direction of my neighborhood, so I'll go right. See what this little boy is up to. Looks like he has some kind of a toy he's invented. Found some wrapping cord. Oh, look at that, a water purifying station. Which is kind of nice. Hello. Hello. Ah, this is great. Kites! Where the heck is it? Oh, look at that. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Hello. Look at that. I love kites. That was one of my hobbies as a boy. Wonder what kind of kite it is. Hey, you. Looks like they have 3 kites or 2 of them up there. Ah. Hello. Goodbye. Wow. All right, which way? That might be a dead end over there. So I'll go this way. Goodbye. Ah, more kites. It looks like kite flying is the fan of the moment. Wonder if they're homemade or they buy them. Hello.
Hi.
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
What's your name?
Douglas. What is your name?
Hafiz.
Hafish? Hafish. Okay. You have a kite.
Layang.
Yeah. Yeah. English is kite. Indonesian?
Layang.
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 Okay.
Melayang.
Layang. Yeah, I could see it up there. Layang. Yeah, so many.
Mana kelamai?
There he goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to meet you.
Okay. Welcome.
Exactly the neighborhoods I was hoping to stumble across for this little walk. Nice little homes here. Very well groomed and taken care of. Ah, more kites. Maybe because of it's a windy season or something. Yeah, all the kites have the same basic design. I think they buy them. I've already forgotten what they told me what they're called in Indonesian. Hello.
Mana Pak?
Hmm? Funny thing is that I've studied the Indonesian for the local greetings. You know, very similar to in Malaysia, I guess, you know, selamat pagi for good morning, things like that. And I keep wanting to use them, but I've never heard a local person ever use any of them, whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I've never heard anyone say them to each other. No one's ever said them to me. So I'm not sure if they're even used. Now this is amazing. A mobile children's ride. I wonder, oh, they do go up and down, I think. So I wonder if any of the kids will jump on and show me how it works. Now these girls are too big, I think, for this. But I guess as he rides along, there's a pulley system. And hello, how are you? And they go up and down. It's very cool. Great neighborhood. Hello. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Thank you. I think someone said she loves me. That's nice. Hello. Mana? What does that mean? I don't know. This one on my left looks more like a bachelor pad. Young men and their motorcycle scooters. Not a lot of housekeeping goes on over there. Now here's a very interesting shop. I think I'm going to turn to the right, go down that alleyway there. But before I do, look at this place. Songbirds. Let's pull the camera up in here for a minute. Look at that. When I was in Sumatra before, I was lucky enough to meet a local man who his hobby was competing in songbird competitions. It's a big, big deal in Sumatra. Maybe all of Indonesia, I don't know. But they have competitions with judges, you know, entry forms, and the birds will compete, and you can win a lot of money. You can make a living if you have, you know, championship songbirds. So you can travel around Sumatra, win these contests, and actually make a fair bit of money. And after I met this guy, he took me to a couple of the local contests. It was quite interesting to see. Of course, when I was listening to the various birds singing, they all sounded the same to me, but the judges could pick up on nuance. And my friend's birds, he won more often than he'd lost. He was known for the quality of his songbirds. Oop. Certainly in these small neighborhood or like residential laneways, speed bumps are a growth industry. I think the neighborhoods will start off with an open road, and then they get more and more fed up with people going too fast. And they start adding in more and more and more speed bumps until there's a speed bump every 100 feet. There's two more cats. This looks like a school, I think, right? Very colorful. I think it's a school. It looks like they're building a mosque in the back there, so it could be a religious school attached to the mosque. one of the little boys back there, he asked me a question. It was just one word. I think he just kept saying mana, mana, mana. And I should know what that means because I heard that a lot my last trip to Sumatra, but all the local language I learned I've forgotten, so I can't remember what mana means. It has to mean something like, what is your name, where are you going, or where are you from? It's either what is your name, where are you going, where are you from, where's your wife, aren't you lonely? You know, those are the common questions that I always get. Are you alone? Only one? All right, I think with that, I might draw this little stroll to a close. When I get to the main road up ahead, I'll probably hop on the bike and ride back to my hotel. As I said, I was struck by that neighborhood when I went out for a walk the other day, and I wanted to go back and catch a little bit of video of it before I leave Dumai. Yeah, I think I was successful in doing that. Some more kids. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What are they playing with? And I've come out on the main road where the Telkomsel Grapari office is located. This is sort of where my Dumai adventures began. So from here, it's an easy path to follow to get me back to my hotel. I've reached a smaller side street. I know this street. I'm going to head down this way. I'm not going to walk though, just ride my bike slowly. Capture more of the atmosphere of Dumai. Busy intersection. Just saw a guy go by on a scooter with a big fishing rod bag over his shoulder, like a specialized case for his fishing rod. And that reminded me that on the boat from Port Dickson to Dumai, there were a lot of fishing rods in the luggage. The men coming back from Malaysia, quite a number of them had purchased fishing rods there and were bringing them back. There were so many, in fact, that they kept falling out of the bags, like they were attached to certain bags or luggage, like suitcases and things, and then they would come loose because they were too long to go inside the bags. And the luggage handlers had to talk amongst themselves and try to remember which fishing rod went with which bag, you know, as they put them back out onto the dock. So, back on my street, and the Wasada Hotel is just around the corner. Though, to be honest, I'm sort of in the mood to ride just a bit farther. I noticed some people sitting outside of that building up ahead. The road that I was on crosses over. I just ride right down here for a little while, see what's down here. Just look at all these people sitting on the right. Hello. Hello. Yeah, like, I mean, everybody says hello. It's a word in Indonesian as well. It's the same as the English word hello. But nobody ever says, as I said, no one ever greets me with anything other than hello. So I'm never sure of my ground, you know, with all the salamat pagi, things like that. Because like I said, no one ever says it to me. I don't have the confidence to say it back, ever. Another water purifying place. That is something I've noticed many times in my life, that I'll go out looking for something in particular and I'll have a great deal of trouble finding it. But then once I do find one, generally a very inconvenient one that is far away, right after that I suddenly see them in my neighborhood all over the place. It's like they suddenly appear everywhere, but I couldn't see them before. I just spotted another narrower lane to ride along. I don't know if it's significant or means anything, but I have noticed that, like, the children here, people in general, they don't seem interested in my bicycle at all. They're interested in me, but they don't seem to be taking any interest in the bike. I only mention that because I think when I was in the Philippines, in a similar situation, like a residential neighborhood or a village somewhere, riding my bike, most of the young boys who came running up to me, they were all over the bike. They didn't care about me, but they were quite interested in the bike itself. But here in Dumai, anyway, nobody is reacting to the bike or all the cameras mounted on it. Or the you know, special bags that I have mounted on it. No one's really, doesn't seem to even be looking at the bike at all. They look at me and they say hello, but they don't react to the bike. It's kind of interesting. Hello. And I think this is my street. I recognize it because it's right beside all the fruit stalls. Yeah, good smell. And I was hoping my little place on the corner would be open, selling snacks. It's where I would get my kacang hijau, but she doesn't seem to have set up her place yet. That's too bad. Oh, it is. Ah, okay. I'll pick one up. Hello. Kacang hijau, yeah. Yep, this one. Thank you.
Where are you live?
Wisata Hotel. Yeah. And that's it. I'm back at the Wisata, and I have my snack, which I'm going to enjoy once I get inside. So yeah, that'll be nice to have as a stored memory of my time in Dumai. And with that, time to shut down. move on to the next video.